Hello. Is anyone there? This is going to be our Facebook Live number 5 from during the 30-day blogging challenge. So this is going to be the last one that kind of wraps up the blogging challenge because tomorrow is the last day of the blogging challenge. Today is day 29 and tomorrow is day 30. So I'm going to give people a minute to log on here while I set up. My computer is over here. So if you're wondering why I'm looking down here, I'm just looking at my notes. And I'm going to tell you a little story, and then we're going to get into our topic today, which is when it all feels like too much, which is what I like to refer to as the blogging blues. So I can see someone join me. I can't see who it is. Let me set up on my computer and refresh my screen and see if I can see what's going on. Oops, and there I am. See if it's going to work today. Sometimes it tells me that I can't watch it while I'm doing it, so let's see. Hi Sharon, thank you for joining. Okay, I don't like to watch myself anyway, but at least I like to keep an eye on the comments over here in case anybody has anything they want to ask. So, I'm going to take a sip of water and then I'm going to get started. So happy Monday, everyone. So when it all feels like too much, I wanted to tell you a little story because, as you can see, I have very curly hair today, and I'm going to tell you a story about why I have on this glittery eyeshadow. As we get older, I know this is a common experience for everyone, the perception of time just seems to speed up, and we feel like we don't have enough time to do things. And I remember when, and I know I feel that way. I don't know if everyone feels that way, but I think it's pretty common. And I remember when I was a teenager and my girlfriends and I would go to one of our bedrooms and we would just play for, it seemed like forever. We would like put on makeup and we would try new hairstyles. And it just seemed like we had all the time in the world. And now when we're older, I feel like I don't have time to do anything. And fitting in blogging along with everything else that we're doing with our businesses and just in our lives and our jobs, and it just seems like too much. And so what I did is the other day I came into my room and as an experiment I just got out my makeup and I was just playing the way I would when I was a teenager. So I figured I would do that again today, and I sat down and it really only was about 15 minutes, but it just felt like I had a chance to slow down. And that is the reason why I have on all this glittery gold eyeshadow. So I hope it's not too freaky for the camera, because it's a little freaky for me because some of it fell onto my eyelashes and I can see it reflecting. But what's really funny is I'm going to the supermarket when I'm done this, so I'm going to go looking like I should be in Studio 54. So anyway, on to today's topic, which is when it all feels like too much. I have some tips for you that I hope will help. So number one is, I think the most important is remember why you're doing it in the first place. So I'm looking over here at my notes in case you're wondering. Thanks, Sharon. Why did you start your business in the first place? And why did you start your blog? So if you don't have a business and you're just blogging for other reasons, also, I'm just going to use blog and business interchangeably during this video. Because I think most of you, you're in this group because it's called Blog Your Brand, and maybe it's a personal brand or maybe it's a business brand. But remember why you did it in the first place. Why did you start it? There was some passion that got you going, and just when you're feeling like it's all too much and you don't have anything to say today or this week, and it doesn't have to be every day, just remember why you were doing it in the first place. There was something that compelled you to start doing this, and think about what was the purpose of your business and your blog, and what was the mission behind it. And there are two different things really, because the purpose is the reason that you're doing it, and the mission is what you want to accomplish. What is the duty that you're assigning to what you're doing? And I think if you solidify those things, if you answer those questions for yourself, it will help give you motivation. When I was in acting school, they used to tell us if we weren't doing well in a scene, they would tell us that our motivation wasn't strong enough. And for every scene that we were in, we had to figure out what was our purpose of the scene. You know, was it you were trying to get somebody to do something, whatever your motivation, whatever your character was doing. And if your belief in it wasn't strong enough, it just wasn't going to happen for you when you were doing the scene. It had to be strong enough. And even if it didn't pertain to the scene. It had to be something that you built up in your head that like, I'm going to do this, and it would make for much stronger actions while you were trying to act. And I think you can relate that to your business too. That what are you doing, and is your motivation strong enough to compel you to blog every day, or not every day, but to blog on a consistent schedule? What difference do you want your business and your blog to make in the lives of other people? And if it's strong enough, I think you'll find a reason to do it. But in a more practical sense, my number 2 answer to this question is to take advantage of the tools that make it easier. There are so many tools out there now that I don't even know all of them, but we all have different things that we like to use. Like I use a tool called IFTTT, and it's if this then that. So you can set up, I think they call them recipes on there, and you can set up little tasks for it to do. So like when I post to my Instagram account, I have an IFTTT recipe set up to say, if I post to my Instagram account, then you will post to my Twitter. So I never have to worry about my Twitter when I'm posting to Instagram. I use Twitter in other ways as well, but I use Buffer, which is another tool. I pay for Buffer, but IFTTT is free. I mean, there are lots of free tools out there. You can use Hootsuite, there's TweetDeck, and it's not just for Twitter. You can set up multiple social channels on there. So when you blog, and then you think, oh, now not only did I find all this time and energy to blog, but now I have to promote it in some way. I use Buffer, and I've been doing it during the challenge. I've been taking everyone's posts and I load them into my Buffer, and they're on a schedule so that I don't bombard people on Twitter. But it tweets it out for me on a schedule. And I can set up weeks in advance with that. And all you need to do is sit down and just take a half hour maybe out of your day and just set all that stuff up. And then it kind of happens in the background with you. If you use Instagram on your promotions, you can't really pre-schedule Instagrams, but you can do a lot of the busy work first. There's a tool called Later. I've never used it, but I hear a lot about it, and it's free. But Buffer works the same way. You can set up everything that you're going to do on Instagram. You can put in your image and your caption and all of that stuff and what time you want to do it. And then you can do it on your desktop, because really Instagram, you have to do it on your phone, but you can do this all on your desktop. And then it will send you a reminder on your phone. It'll transfer all that information and the photo to your phone, and it'll say, it's time, this is the time you set up for your Instagram. And then you can go in and say, okay. And then you kind of have to do it a little manually, but everything's already there. The picture's already there. It copies your caption over for you. And it just makes life so much easier. It saves so much time. And I've been playing with that the past couple of days, and it's been working really well. I'm trying to get a consistent presence for myself on Instagram, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So this is helping me get on a schedule. And there are all kinds of tools out there. If you have any that you really like, please share them in the comments so that we can all learn from you too. So my third answer is to work smarter, not harder. And I know that's easy to say. They used to tell us that all the time at work when we would take management training and things. You have to work smarter. But really, it comes down to prioritizing your items for the day and concentrate on what are the most important things. So if you're not reaching your income goals, you need to sit down and think about what are your money-making items and just prioritize them for the day. And the same thing with blogging. It may not directly bring you money, and maybe it does if you're blogging about products, but it is going to bring in target customers and build your authority, and just make it part of your day. I mean, set a timer on social media so that you're not spending so much time on Facebook or in your email, or just scrolling through or looking at your phone, and just find a way to do it right, to not randomly post something, but to know that you're blogging with intent. It's something for your brand, it's something for your business that you're talking about, and just be consistent. It doesn't have to be like during the challenge we do it every day, and it's really not necessary to do it every day. I find it's too much for me to do every day. And I do once a week, definitely. And I try to do twice a week, because I think twice a week for me really works better. But it doesn't really have to be something that's overwhelming. So when it's feeling like it's too much, just try to think about prioritizing the items that you have to do for that day, and just fit in the ones that you think are most important. Because really, we all have the same amount of time in the day. We all have 24 hours. And it seemed like a lot more when I was a teenager and I was playing with my glitter eyeshadow. And it doesn't seem like much now. But we really do all have the same amount of time in a day. And it's how you prioritize it and how you use it that will make you be more productive. Let me scroll down here a little to my notes. And also, I've talked about this a lot, but to put yourself on a schedule. And what I mean by that is to create an editorial calendar. It doesn't have to be something complex. It doesn't have to be even on your computer or software. You can just set up reminders on your phone, or you can keep it on a piece of paper or hang it on a wall, or just jot down notes in a book that you carry around or something. But to put yourself on some kind of schedule to where you're consistent and you just build these activities into your day. And you know in advance. The hardest part of blogging is when you wait until the last minute and then you're like, okay, I have to blog. If you know in advance, at least the topic, it just saves so much time and it puts so much less pressure on yourself to do these things that it takes away the sense of overwhelm, because you have an idea of what you're going to do and you don't have to build up everything from the ground up. You don't have to start with what is my idea and when am I going to do it. And if you already have that planned out, it takes away half the battle. And now getting back to the first point, well, actually, no, I have one more before that. My next one is to get help if you can. I know when we're starting out, we don't have a lot of money and we're bootstrapping our businesses, a lot of us, and you don't have money to pay someone, but maybe you could take on an intern, or maybe you can, if you have children that are old enough, maybe you can start teaching them some business skills and teaching them about netiquette and how to use social media in the proper way, and just give them little tests that help you out and give them skills for the future. You don't have to do it all by yourself all the time. And if you can hire someone, it's great. If you can hire a virtual assistant for an hour or two a week and just have them set up your social post or size your blog graphics, because if you have an editorial calendar and you already know what you think you're going to blog about, maybe they can already prepare your images or something and put your titles on top of them, or just see if you can get some kind of help. And so circling back, this is the tough love part, because coming back to the why you're doing it is, at the end of the day, you have to decide whether you want it or not and how strongly you want it. How much you are willing to put into it to get the results that you want. We have to do these things. We must do these things if we want our businesses to expand, and we want our brand to expand and our blog to get more followers. And you got to put the work into it. You have to really just commit yourself. And you may think, but I can't. It's overwhelming, and it's hard at first, but the more you practice, the more you're going to grow as a person along with your business. And if you feel like you can't do that today, as you grow, you're going to grow into the person who can do those things. And just know that it is going to happen, because you'll be a different person at the end of it. I mean, especially if you participated in the 30-day challenge and really put your all into it, you know that you can do this by the end of the 30 days. And anything that is less than blogging every day is going to feel like it's so easy. So even if you just commit to once a week, twice a month, just put yourself on some kind of consistent schedule, and you're going to develop into the kind of person who can do these things. And just believe that it's going to happen. And because really, the difference between the people who make it in the business world and the people who don't are the people who give that little extra bit. And even if it's just 1%, if you give 1% more than your competition, you're going to be the leader. There's not a big difference. If you look at the Olympics, there's not a big difference between the people who win gold and the people who win silver. And they're all winners. You don't have to be the one who gets gold, but just that little extra bit that puts you over the edge can make you be the winner in your blog and in your brand. We're coming to the end of the challenge. Tomorrow's the last day. Sharon, if you're still with me, thank you so much. I know that you've been posting for every day and you only have 2 left. No, you did today, so you only have 1 left. So yay for you. That is great. I'd like to know if you want to write in the comments below, tell me how you're going to continue now that the challenge is over. Are you planning on blogging every day, or are you planning on cutting it back to once a week or something like that? And if you do have any tools that you've been using that have really been helping you out, put them in the comments so we can all learn from each other. The most important thing is to, now that the challenge is coming to an end, is to just continue to be consistent. Because if you want to build up a following, people are going to want to see you at a certain time. They're going to want to expect it. Whether you do, every Monday or something, they're going to know that is your day, and they're going to go look for it after a while. They might see it pop up on social media and it reminds them, but when they get used to it, if they don't see you on those days, they're going to say, hey, I still have another 2 weeks left in my Get Healthy Challenge. Oh yeah, how's that going? I've enjoyed it because I've really been enjoying, I'm on my own health and fitness journey, and I've really been enjoying seeing what you've been writing about. And I've learned a lot from you. Actually, I've been trying to do squats because I watched your video on how to do squats properly. And I have a little app on my phone that's called Stand Up. Because I work from home and I sit a lot, I set it to every hour it just dings and tells me to stand up and move around. And you can change the message on there. So I changed it to say, stand up, do 3 squats, do 3 push-ups. And I do that every hour from between 11 and 6. Difficult to get followers. For the challenge, yeah, I think so. You know, even for this 30-day challenge, the last time we did this, we had about 15 people, I think, that went all the way through. And it's much less this time. So I don't know if I waited, if I did it too soon, or if I just did it at the wrong time. I just figured starting out in the beginning of January when everyone's trying to, you know, everyone has their resolutions going. You sit a lot as well, yeah. I really like that app because sometimes it just stops working and I have to go back in and tell it to remind me again. But it has a really unobtrusive little ping, and I look down and I'm like, okay, and I make myself do it. I make myself get up and just walk around and do some stretching. And now I added 3 squats. So maybe after the holidays was too much. Yeah, it might have been. Or, you know, if people have done the challenge before, sometimes it's hard to think about doing it again. Like if you do 30 blog posts, that's probably more than a lot of people do in a year, I think, in the group. But it is a slow time of year. Yeah, you're right. But thanks for the squat video because I've never felt comfortable doing a squat. Like I always felt like I'm hurting my back in some way, but I followed your instructions and it's a lot easier than I thought it was, and it feels good. So I've been doing, I said it starts at 11 and it goes at 6. So I have 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So each time I get up, I do 3 squats and then I've added 3 girl push-ups for my little upper body strength. I'm always trying to improve my posture too. So I got something out of your blog, so I hope that makes you feel good. So I think that's it, unless you have any questions. If you want to chat about anything. I'm going to post this to YouTube, and it'll be live in the group page. So if anybody watches this on the replay, if you have any questions or if you want to recommend any tools, just put them in the comments right underneath the video. And I'll probably come back on. I wanted to do this every week for the challenge, but I kind of like doing it, and I think I may not do it like every single Monday like I've been doing. But I do want to do it more often. But I do also want to make my short videos because I think they're a lot more they're easier to digest when I make like a 2-minute video about a very specific blogging topic. I want to make one on how to use Canva. I think that would be helpful for people. And I'm also planning on switching my hosting company. Because my host now, well, I'll put it all in the video, but having some issues on my site. If anyone's been going to my site every once in a while, you get error messages and having some problems commenting. So I'm going to make a video about why I'm switching my hosting company and what the benefits were of my new host. So I'll do one on that topic as well. All that technical stuff that really, I think, intimidates people when they're blogging is really not so hard. When you think about, oh my God, switching my hosting company, like me, it's just a mental block. It really is a mindset thing. Because really, the company does it for you. All you got to do is tell them to do it. It's just a mindset thing of like, oh my God, I'm moving my entire website. Because my website is pretty big now. I have more than 200 and something blog posts. And I have hundreds of images on my site. But really, all it is to them, it's data and folders that they're moving over. You know, so it's not like I have to do it myself. So I will make a video on what the process was for doing that and what the benefits were and how I'm liking the new host. I'm going to do that sometime this week. So I think that's it. I hope you found the challenge beneficial, and I'm going to get back to my regular monthly challenges. So on February 1st, I'll go live, and or maybe not live, but I'll post a video saying what the challenge is for February, and it's not a huge one like the January one. It's not a 30-day one. It's just something small. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap it up. And thank you for being here, Sharon. Thank you for anyone who's watching the replay. And, you know, as always, if you have any questions, just put them down below. Thanks for watching. Bye.